Greetings. This video is for me to share my experience with the SF-181 forum. Um, when I first heard about the SF-181 forum, I was actually visiting my aunt Abena in Union, New Jersey at her home. And I went to actually drop off some artwork to her. I'm an artist. I went to drop off the artwork, and the conversation began with us speaking about cryptocurrency, stocks, and different things of that nature, and how she was starting to get into that. Carrot bars. She was telling me about carrot bars, and as we began to talk more, we started to go into topics of just like different things that are going on in the world. And she decided to show me this form, and she told me to just read it, look at the form. She told me to look at the form, and it was the SF-181 race and ethnicity identification form. And the first thing I noticed on the form, was just she had her name written on there, her social security number, her birth date, and that this form is from the OMB, the U.S. Office of Management and Budget. So I knew that this form was an official form, or a legal form, you can say. Um, and then she made sure that she pointed me to the specific definitions for black and white, and I'm just going to read them real quick. Um, the definition for black or African American in this on this form reads: a person having origins in any of the black racial groups of Africa. And then she told me to read the definition for white, and when I looked at that, it says a person having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa. And immediately when I saw that, it struck a chord with me, because all this time, like what I thought the definition of white was, is I'm being shown by this form that it's completely not what I was told growing up, or what I was conditioned to believe growing up, which makes a lot of sense. Um, and also, I'm going to also read the other definitions. You have American Indian or Alaska Native, which is a person having origins in any of the original peoples of North and South America, including Central America, and who maintains tribal affiliation or community attachment. Then there's Asian, a person having origins in any of the original peoples of the Far East, Southeast Asia, or the Indian subcontinent, including, for example, Cambodia, China, India, Japan, Korea, Malaysia, Pakistan, the Philippine Islands, Thailand, and Vietnam. And then there's Native Hawaiian or other Pacific Islander, which is a person having origins in any of the original peoples of Hawaii, Guam, Samoa, or other Pacific Islands. And what I noticed is that every definition that I've read talks about a person having origins in any of the original peoples, except for the definition of black or African American. And on top of that, it talks about a person having origins in any of the black racial groups of Africa, which, it doesn't make sense. There is no such thing as a black racial group of Africa, you know. And my aunt actually called Chief Nanya Shabuel. She actually called Chief that same day when she showed me the form, and he went into it even further with me. And my mind was blown, to say the least, because this was just a lot to take in at the time. But it wasn't so much overwhelming as it was just like a spark in my brain. It was just like, okay, like I get it. I knew that I knew that there were I knew that the way that the system works was just against people of melanin. But just to actually have legitimate proof and just see that there's this legal document that just ties you into a that ties people of, you know, brown skin or melanin into this certain category, which basically says that you are dead in the eyes of the law. You have no standing at law. You know, you don't exist. And you know, so many people I know, you know, they're so proud to call themselves black, and it's just, you know, I like once I learned this, once I was shown this form, it's like I can no longer go back to call myself black. I can no longer, you know, I can no longer. My mind is completely changed. So this was a big eye opener for me, and yeah, it was a big eye opener, and I'm so grateful to have people in my life such as my aunt, and even Chief, who dedicates so much of his time on the webinars every Monday to guide people through this process of changing their status, their race and ethnicity. But I'm going through this process now of changing my race and ethnicity from black to American Indian or Alaskan Native because I was born in Jamaica, which is a part of the Americas, um, and white, which is, you know, a person having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, the Middle East, and or North Africa. So, you know, I'm extremely grateful to have been shared, to have, you know, for someone to share this information with me. And, you know, I've been telling my friends about it as well. And, you know, some of them, you know, are a little hesitant when I tell them about the definitions and show them some of the documents. But, you know, I continue to tell people about it. And I will also put the link to the iPads in this, to the iPad's definition of race and ethnicity, as well as the SF-181 um, in my Calameo, my published SF-181 in my Calameo. I will also put those in the description for this for any people who are going to watch this video who would like to learn more and find out. And I'm also going to, you know, invite you to check out Chief's webinar on Mondays and learn more from the man himself who continues to teach people and let them know about this. And with that, I'm going to say Abugador, Abugador, Abugador. White power, white power, white power.